Technically, nothing is special about the PTL02 and its export variant WMA301 Assaulter. Yet it symbolizes the changing tactical thought in the Chinese military and has been the best-selling assault gun in Africa in the last 2 decades. As the weapon detective, we're now investigating the PTL02 and WMA301 Assaulter, another example of the success of simplicity. The PTL02 is the first operational wheeled assault gun of the People's Liberation Army Ground Force, shortly PLAGF. Even though it slowly becomes an old story in its own country with the introduction of the ZTL-11, its export variant, WMA301 Assaulter, is still hugely popular in Africa. Better yet, within the last year, 5 more nations on this continent have become its new operators. Before analyzing this success, let's briefly look at the history and features of the vehicle first. Until the 1980s, China had been loyal to Maoist guerrilla tactics and had trusted its overwhelming numerical superiority. However, advancements in military technologies also forced the PLAGF to a radical transformation. The 1980s were the best time for such a change when Chinese economic, technological, and industrial capabilities dramatically increased. As a part of reorganizing force structure, the PLAGF demanded a wheeled assault gun in the late 1980s to increase its rapid deployment capability. To answer this requirement, Norinco developed the Type 87 self-propelled anti-tank gun based on the Type 90, aka WZ5I1. This 6x6 wheeled armored vehicle with a 253 horsepower water-cooled engine was still under development. The Type 87 had 2 variants, one with a 100mm and the other with a 105mm main gun. The heavy turret had been installed on the Type 90, which had already suffered from insufficient mobility, reliability, and balance problems with almost no modifications. Besides, the tested 100mm and 105mm smoothbore guns were ineffective against the latest composite armor. They required more power to increase their penetration capability. The unmodified hull could not deal with such high recoil force, so the project was postponed. Yet, the success of the French Daguet Division's AMX-10RCs in the 1991 Gulf War changed the situation. The PLAGF began to organize light mechanized infantry divisions brigades as rapid deployment units built around the wheeled armored vehicles. At the time, the regular Chinese infantry divisions used towed anti-tank guns such as the 100mm Type 86, which could not meet the requirements of a highly mobile combat. The new light mechanized infantry divisions and brigades needed the self-propelled variants of this weapon. So, Norinco began working on an improved version of the Type 87 and completed the first prototype in 1996. The new assault gun was based on the Type 92 6x6 wheeled armored vehicle, the advanced variant of the Type 90. The Type 92, also known as ZSL-92, had a more powerful air-cooled engine offering better reliability, cross-country mobility, and output at high-altitude regions. Also, the new assault gun was fitted with a better recoil system, allowing firing more effective 100mm ammunition with higher penetration capability. After trials, it entered the PLAGF service in 2002 as the PTL02. The vehicle today appears to be deployed to at least 3 light mechanized divisions. They have 1 or 2 anti-tank batteries with 3 companies, 18 PTL02s in total. The PTL02 and its export variant, WMA301 Assaulter, have the same weight, dimensions, and mobility features. However, their layouts are slightly different. The main differences between these 2 vehicles are their turrets and main guns. The hull is almost identical to the ZSL-92. Most of their parts are exchangeable, reducing unit costs and easing the logistic burden. The commander, gunner, and loader are located in the turret. The driver sits in the front left. Depending on the tactical requirements, an observer can also join the crew. In that case, he or she is located on the right side of the driver. The ZSL-92's all-welded steel hull is resistant to 12.7mm ammunition in front and 7.62mm armor-piercing rounds in the rest. Yet, some sources claim that the PTL02 has a thinner frontal armor resistant to only 7.62mm armor-piercing rounds to reduce the total weight. On the other hand, according to Norinco's official data, at least the WMA301 has the same front armor as the ZSL-92. The crew compartment is fitted with automatic fire extinguishing devices to increase survivability. The PTL02 can fight in the CBRN environment. This capability is optional for the Assaulter. Their central tire inflation systems give these vehicles good cross-country mobility. The vehicles have a turning radius of 9 meters. Unlike the ZSL-92, the PTL02 and WMA301 are not amphibious due to their heavy turrets. The Y8, the Chinese copy of the AN-12, can carry one of these assault guns, while the IL-76 can transport 3. The PTL02's Type 37A light spot fire control system with infrared night vision and laser rangefinder is based on those used on the Type 88 main battle tank. The WMA301 has a more advanced fire control system and hunter-killer engagement capability. Both vehicles can engage moving targets while on the move. The PTL02's main armament is a modified version of the 100mm Type 86 towed anti-tank gun, equipped with a more effective recoil system and a multi-baffle muzzle brake. Still, the high recoil effect limits the turret turning angle during firing. The 100mm Type 71 armor-piercing fin-stabilized discarding sabot round can penetrate 147mm of flat RHA steel at a 1,500-meter range. The 100mm DYW PT86-100 armor-piercing fin-stabilized discarding sabot round increases the penetration capability to 356mm at the same distance. The PTL02 can also fire the GP2 barrel-launched anti-tank guided missile, which is also effective in low-flying helicopters. The GP2 can penetrate a 650mm thick RHA steel supported with explosive reactive armor blocks at a 5,000-meter range. To improve the WMA301's export potential, Norinco opted for a low-recoil 105mm gun capable of firing both NATO standard and Chinese-made 105mm ammunition. The gun is equipped with a fume extractor and a thermal sleeve. Besides, the assault gun has a different modular turret which can be reconfigured with different subsystems depending on the customer's demand. Still, Cameroonian vehicles have a turret similar to the PTL02, even though they are also fitted with a 105mm gun. The Assaulter has a more effective recoil mechanism to balance the more effective main armament. Thanks to this change, the assault gun can fire in all turret traverse angles. Even though a 105mm round has a broader volume than a 100mm one, the vehicle can carry 32 rounds for the main gun thanks to its rearranged ammunition storage areas. This number is 30 in the PTL02. The Assaulter is also fitted with a loading assist device. It can fire the 105mm variant of the GP2. We should add that the WMA301's modular turret is also mounted on the Myanmarese 2S1 based MMT-40 light tank developed with Ukrainian technical assistance. China is the only user of the PTL02, while Angola, Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Chad, Djibouti, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, Mauritania, Myanmar, Senegal, and Zimbabwe operate the WMA301. The PTL02 has a 4-person crew consisting of a commander, gunner, loader, and driver. The observer is an optional member. The vehicle is 8.3 meters long, 2.8 meters wide, and 3.15 meters high. Its combat weight is 19,000 kilograms. The 320 horsepower Deutz BF8L413FC turbocharged diesel engine provides a road speed of 85 km per hour. Its range is 600 km. The PTL02 can negotiate 0.55 meter vertical steps and 1.2 meter trenches. It can fort to a depth of 1 meter. The vehicle has a 105mm smoothbore main gun, besides one 7.62mm coaxial and one 12.7mm roof-mounted machine gun. The PLAGF has deployed its PTL02s in internal security operations in Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. Similarly, the Myanmarese assaulters have fought against insurgency groups in the country. In these operations, local rebel forces have captured at least 2 vehicles and destroyed some. Also, many African operators of the WMA301 have used the vehicle in combat many times. Even though we couldn't find reliable combat records in these conflicts, we may say that the WMA301's market success in Africa indicates that its operators are satisfied with the performance of the assault gun. Yes, the Assaulter's 105mm gun is ineffective against modern main battle tanks. Yet, Angola, Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Chad, Djibouti, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, Mauritania, Senegal, and Zimbabwe do not expect to deal with such threats. Their neighbors, which might attempt to invade them, do not have the latest state-of-the-art ground fighting vehicles. These African countries do not expect a Western military intervention. Even if this happens, their budgets are insufficient to create armed forces with the latest state-of-the-art weaponry to resist anyway. The guerrilla and terrorist groups or internal insurgencies, which might overthrow the government, are their primary security concerns. The WMA301's capabilities are more than enough against them. Besides, its price is considerably low compared to, for example, a Centauro 2. None of them needs the firepower of this vehicle's 120mm gun and sophisticated fire control system. Even the lifecycle cost of the latest and best land systems would be too much for these countries. Is it worth spending such money to deal with some guerrilla and terrorist groups? Let's use two parts from our EMB 314 video again. The Italian-born professional soldier Raimondo Montecuccoli, who served in the Habsburg monarchy during the 17th century, said for war you need three things. 1. Money. 2. Money. 3. Money. And let's remember the quote of Church played by Gary Busey in the movie Soldier. My daddy always said when you want to insert a nail into a piece of wood, don't do anything fancy or glamorous. Just take the damn hammer and hit the son of a bitch until it's in. Even the wealthiest Western countries had to give up on their military operations in Afghanistan because of the high economic burden. The most sophisticated and deadly state-of-the-art weapons hurt their budget more than the Taliban. France dominated this market until 20-30 years ago. However, it cannot offer low-cost but practical vehicles today. China has cleverly used this gap to infiltrate the African market. It has also become the biggest investor in the continent. The economies of the many WMA301 operators now depend on Chinese money. So, economically speaking, we may say that buying this assault gun is also a way to keep good relations with Beijing. They have to send some of them back to keep the cash flow open. This vehicle is not for high-intensity combat scenarios. Even China has switched to the more capable ZTL-11. Yet, the PTL02 and WMA301 still has the potential to play crucial roles in low-intensity conflicts. Technically, nothing is special about this vehicle. Its simplicity and low cost make it special for the African market. It is far from fancy or glamorous, but enough to drive a nail in the region. Thanks for watching our video. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the bell button to be notified of our new videos. Also, you can now click the join button to support our channel. And as always, we would greatly appreciate all of your likes, comments, and shares.